This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Ben, come here.
Oh no, I'm scared.
The Sony FX30 is a high-quality APS-C mirrorless camera that is perfect for both remote podcasting and also filming podcasts and videos in person.
There's no way. Dude, that sounded exactly like you.
Hello everyone, sarad rhymes with peachy here, and today we're talking about a subject that you're probably either tired of or excited about: AI. There's been a lot of buzz recently about video generation. So whether it's OpenAI's Sora or Google's new Veo 2, they all have one thing in common: they're cool, but it still lacks a practical use case. At least I think it does. Sure, in the short term, it might replace, stock footage from somewhere like Storyblocks, and maybe in the long term, people will be making movies by just, typing out sentences, I guess. That just seems extremely lame though. The latter still feels so far away, and, TBD if people actually want it. I doubt that people actually want that. But I've been extremely fascinated lately by making AI voice clones of myself and video clones. This side of AI is actually getting kind of good. A lot of people like a year ago made videos about this, and it was still like, it's fine. But now, me personally, I'm like, wait. Is this happening? And what's interesting about this is I can actually see it having a practical use for me. No, I'm not going to be making entire YouTube videos with an AI clone of myself, right? The entire point of YouTube is you're following a real human, right? A real human with emotions and opinions and a point of view. But say I need to revise a part of the video with some voiceover, right? And my AI voice clone can do that for me. Recording a voiceover at my desk, even with the same microphone, already doesn't sound the same as recording it in the original room that I recorded the original video with, So if all I have to do is type it out and then download it, and it sounds just as good as recording it at my desk, or maybe even better, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Same thing with a AI video clone. That'll definitely be tougher to figure out, but honestly, I'm excited to dive into this and show you guys the results. So I recently went back and forth with Levels on Twitter when he made a voice clone, and it sounded good. It sounded like him, but the clone just didn't pause at all. It just was like basically one long run-on sentence. He wanted to build his own voice clone to make an audiobook, which is funny because a few people on Twitter were basically like, hey, you've been working on this for days. Couldn't you have just sat down for 3 or 4 hours and just read the audiobook yourself? Honestly, with a lot of this AI tech, yes, just do it the old way, right? But I think what I'm finding and other people are finding is this is just so cool and new. So when you figure it out, it's exciting, right? And then also it just like scales infinitely. So if you make one voice clone, well then that's unlimited voiceovers and unlimited, audiobooks. You just copy and paste your script and boom, right? So I relayed the settings that I actually landed on, but it still didn't work for him. And the conclusion? Well, what these AIs train on is the most important part of this whole process. So the actual length of the content I find doesn't matter that much, because Levels had 2 hours of podcast content, but it still didn't work, because how you talk in a podcast is not necessarily the same way how you're going to talk for an audiobook. So you can't magically get out what you're not putting in, if that makes sense. And it sounds like jump cuts in the original audio file were just too abrupt, and therefore the exported file is going to reflect that, right? So let me show you the process that I went through to get my AI voice clone to sound like this.
Its cage-like body is easy to rig up and features built-in cooling fans, which is crucial for an in-studio podcast setup where you may need to record and stream for extended periods without worrying about overheating. The bright red tally lights around the camera make it easy to confirm the recording status.
That's not me. That's literally not me. I think where it blows my mind the most, and it's kind of hit or miss depending on the script I give it, is just the enunciation and the words that I emphasize every now and then. It actually kind of nails that, which is really crazy. Okay, so I use a service called 11 Labs. This is what most people are using for voice clones. So I'll make sure to link everything in the description below. yeah, I need to get affiliate links for this because I'm such a big fan. I can't hawk this for free, you know? Anyways, so a lot of these AI companies, they just do a lot. You can see a lot of different services they offer, but we're gonna go to voices. So focus on that voices tab under create. And then at the top, you'll see create or clone a new voice. In between the weeks that I made my first voice clone and now making this video, they actually added this option, the professional voice clone option, but I only use the instant voice clone, and it sounds pretty great. So I would start there, but I'm definitely gonna try the professional one later. In total, I probably uploaded around 20 minutes total, and this was from previous videos of mine, since that is what I want to sound like in my exports, right? So I made sure to leave in some breathing and some pauses, so it was just the rough cut of all of my A-roll. This will be pretty easy for you if you have like hours of footage like what I'm doing now, just talking to a camera in the way that you want your energy to be reflected in the export. The other biggest part of this is you actually want to add a description of your voice. And of course, I use ChatGPT to get this description. So mine says, Sarah Dietschy's voice is bright, confident, and full of energy. Perfect for sharing her passion for tech and creativity. It's approachable and fun and blah, blah, blah. I'll screenshot the rest of it so you can get some inspo. And yeah, I spent a while tweaking the parameters, but this is what I landed on. So for stability, I put it at 40%, at similarity, 50%, and then 10% for style exaggeration. And then I made sure that speaker boost was turned on. So this might be different for everyone, and you can hover over that question mark to see what each value means. But the biggest changes that I found were tweaking the stability.
It was doing like all the breathing the same way.
Yeah, so it didn't the first time, but then I
Okay.
just cranked the style exaggeration and similarity.
It like captured your style with 3 audio clips.
Yeah.
It sounded exactly like you.
Increasing stability will make your voice sound more consistent, but it might make it sound more monotonous, which is just, it just screams AI, you know? So decreasing that stability in some cases helps slow down the voice. Keep in mind, you can also slow down the voice in your video editor, right? So I've done this before. You can change the speed from like 100% to 98% or something like that to make it sound more natural. Just make sure that you have maintain pitch selected so you won't sound different. Honestly, I feel like this sounds very good. Obviously, I know my voice incredibly well, so I can hear the little artifacts and the things that are wrong, but for the audience, for you guys, I mean, what do you think? When AI stuff like this comes out initially, you know, I'll play around with it and I'll be like, oh wow, that's really cool. There's an initial excitement, but then you try to work it into your workflow and you're like, wait, this is really bad, right? I tried this a little under a year ago and it was just not good. And then I started, you know, seeing some people post about it on Twitter. And then I was like, wait, this has just gotten really good all of a sudden. I feel like that's how these AI things work. And even with text generation, you know, ChatGPT or Anthropic, the other services, I'll find with certain models or upgrading the model that I'll have to like downgrade to the lower model because, oh, this one isn't as good for the use case that I was using it for. So it's interesting. It's like a moving target. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm having a lot of fun learning right now. And then occasionally, you know, I'll share what I'm learning. Anyways, what about the voice clone part of this? I can see using it for the same exact use case, but I don't think it's there yet, but it is getting so close. I honestly just looked at this video.
There is so much noise out there, and so that's why I've curated all of this into a simple step-by-step guide. These days, how you show up online is the new handshake. It's the first impression you give to your podcast audience, your clients, your employees, your students.
I mean, that was good, right? Like that was really good. I've been making a lot of training content for both internal purposes when I'm using freelancers that I hire, right? But it's also like educational training that I'm going to sell if anyone else wants to buy it, right? So this endeavor has just been an insanely long journey because one, there's a reason why I haven't done it before. It's boring to me and I don't like doing it. What I thought was going to take a week to film has now taken over a month to film. And I've been actually working on the first thing for almost a year, granted, we had a newborn in that time, right? So I haven't had a ton of time. But anyways, I have over, I think like 6 hours of video content, like finished video content that I have worked very hard to make look cohesive, right? But say there's an edit I need to make, or maybe add an additional piece of content. If the tech is good enough, I think I would totally use an AI clone of myself to add the 2 minutes at the end of, you know, a module that I feel like needs editing or maybe something changed to keep that cohesive look, right? If I train it on the video of me sitting here and filming, then it's gonna look exactly like I filmed it in the same day. So the key to these AI video clones is honestly exactly like the audio clones, right? It's having really good training videos that you input to get a believable output. So this actually does not make sense for a lot of use cases. If you have to, you know, set up your studio, get dressed, put makeup on, you know, do all of those things, you might as well just sit down for 30 minutes, hit record, and film your YouTube video, right? If the output is a 10-minute YouTube video, it's honestly probably not worth the trouble of training the AI in the exact outfit and all of your stuff. Just, you know, record the video, right? And you're also gonna have a better output because you can be more expressive and you're a human. But if it's hours and hours of, you know, say educational content that you already have the scripts for, right? 2 minutes of filming to train the AI for hours of finished content, yeah, that actually might be worth it. Again, I think it's safe to say that I would never personally use it for an actual YouTube video where I'm talking to my, you know, well-trusted and hopefully earned audience here on YouTube. But hey, an edit here and there for maybe some internal content or stuff like that, yes. So let me show you how this actually works. So HeyGen is what we are going to use to create our avatar. So they already have these pre-made avatars that are modeled after real actors. I've looked it up. These actors have given their consent, right, and are actually compensated when their videos are used for a user's avatar. So that's interesting. But the more useful thing to do is to create your own avatar. So let's select create avatar and follow the prompts. These instructions here are actually more important than I thought. Okay, but more on that later. I failed several times by uploading like cut up footage and footage that just did not work. Unlike the audio examples where it's easy to just upload audio from existing YouTube videos, you cannot do that with HeyGen because it does not like video cuts and talking without pauses. And YouTube is just talking without pauses. It's one long run-on sentence, right? So it's much more effective if you record a dedicated video for the purpose of making an avatar. This part is interesting. They make you verify your identity before continuing, because setting the precedent of being able to just upload anyone's face and making an avatar of them would not be great, right? People are already doing deepfakes and stuff, but then this would just give that power to the masses. The first time I did it, I didn't have makeup on. I was too ugly for the AI to recognize that I was the same person, so I had to actually redo it. So you read the statement and then you get started with your avatar. It only took a few minutes to generate, and the really cool part is you can actually connect your AI voice clone from 11 Labs to HeyGen. It is much better than the default one that HeyGen generates, so I recommend using 11 Labs. So input your script and boom. So here was my first stab at properly creating my first AI avatar. Okay, right now I am in, well, my childhood bedroom. I've been transforming this space into just a good peachy A-roll shot. I think this is a great place to just record a straight 2 to 3 minutes of me talking. Does not like jump cuts. You can't put anything with jump cuts. And then if you put like bad footage into it where, you know, I look down at a script, it'll literally make that a part of the output, is like you looking down at a script. So here we go. Let's see if this works.
Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms.
Yeah, I definitely don't look away from the camera as much as it has me looking away. But for real though, thank you Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And the rest of the ad read is still gonna be an output from Hey Jen, but it's with another video that I recorded because I already can tell a few of the things that I need to change. There's a section called Things to Avoid, changing positions while recording, but diverting your gaze or looking around. I'm gonna look off from the camera less because for some reason Hey Jen fixated on that. And then hands gestures above the chest using pointing gestures. So it says look directly into camera and then pause in between each sentence with your mouth closed. I need to do this for a third time, but here's the thing with, you know, people like me and you, us quirky creatives, right? We're not good at following instructions. Okay, take number 2 for Hey Jen training video. Let's hope I can keep my hands down below because I use my hands a lot when talking.
Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. In the last video, I talked about Squarespace's Blueprint AI. This is Squarespace's new AI-enhanced website builder, where it spins up an entire website just by asking you a few questions. It does an incredible job. Whether you use one of Squarespace's award-winning templates to build your website or their fluid engine that allows you to drag and drop blocks anywhere or their new Blueprint AI, Squarespace really makes it so easy to get started. They are always releasing new features like Squarespace Payments, where you can manage payments all in one place and it doesn't require a third party. They have incredible analytics and insights, the ability to purchase domains, and so much more. If you want to give Squarespace a try, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, or if you want to get started today, go to squarespace.com, Sarah Dietchi, for 10% of your first purchase of a domain or website.
I mean, hey, that wasn't too bad, and honestly, I appreciate you, AI Sarah, for helping me with that sponsored ad spot. Shout out to Squarespace. Check out Squarespace. Link in the description below. AI is already really helping me with some delegation, right? So I've been playing around with this a lot, and at the core of all this AI stuff, sometimes it's just really random. Sometimes I get great outputs, other times I don't. But because it's already gotten so much better in just less than a year, those wrinkles are gonna be ironed out. I feel like in the next 6 months, this is just gonna be like good. Like the video generation is gonna be there, and definitely the AI voices, I feel like they're already almost there. I know this brings up like so much existential stuff, right? People are like, oh, YouTubers gonna be replaced by AI, right? I feel like being a personal brand is actually more important than ever. Actually having a following of people who connect with you, who actually understand, you know, a part of you, who share your hobbies, who share these like niche interests that you're in, and you can just connect, right, with an audience online. I think that is actually more important than ever because there's honestly more garbage than ever online, it seems like, right? And so with that, of course, there's more competition for attention, but that means the people who can do it right, who are actually authentic, right, who are vulnerable, who are real humans, and they can communicate that through a lens, because that's a skill of its own too, those people are gonna stay winning. Trust me. The fact that being a YouTuber in itself is so extremely difficult to delegate means that you have a very long time before AI influencers are ruling the world. The easier a task is to delegate to a human, the easier that task will be to delegate to an AI, if that makes sense. And personally, what I feel like I've learned is a lot of this stuff just isn't scalable. Being a YouTuber, being a content creator is a really special job. You get to be creative for your job, and you can make a great living doing it, but very, very few are going to scale that to the size of, you know, a Mr. Beast, a Linus Tech Tips, because the nature of what we're doing right here is really like one-on-one connection. If I start to bring in other personalities to talk about tech and talk about life, you don't care, because I like to think that you're here for me, right? And so that's why I think people screaming about AI replacing these certain fields, I just don't think it's that existential yet. And even the stuff that it is accelerating in, like programming, coding, I don't think that gets rid of programming jobs, right? Maybe less of them are available, but that means that one programmer is just gonna be that much more productive, right? I am so excited for more video editing AI tools. Give me stuff that cuts A-roll automatically, right? I want that, because that's not the creative part of editing a video. If I can save 2 hours of my time doing that, that means I have more time to actually do the creative storytelling part of it, or maybe add some more fun graphics or spend more time color grading it. I feel like I'm ranting at this point, but that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna stay locked into this stuff. I think it's a really fun. I've started to dabble in AI agents and stuff, which are really cool. Honestly, at the core, you're just setting up like Zapier automations, but I'm more interested in the side of things that actually uses AI to really move the process along to where your little AI agent can be doing stuff, you know, on the side without you knowing. That's the side of things that can get scary, right? I'm not gonna give an AI control of my computer anytime soon, but that's where it can get really cool. Anyways, let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. And let me know if you guys enjoy this, because this is a topic that has a lot of BS associated with it. So I know a lot of people in my audience probably aren't even gonna click in on this video, but if it can help you, encourage you to just dive into these tools, if you haven't even downloaded ChatGPT yet, just try it. For me personally, it's helped me just start things when it comes to writing a script or editing brand talking points. It has helped so much. I've been having a lot of fun. I've now outroed this video probably 4 different times, so I'm gonna shut it. And yeah, make sure to check out my Squarespace, link in the description below. And until next time, everyone,
Stay peachy. Okay, B.